What are your thoughts on MQLs? What are your thoughts on gating content?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And I had a really fascinating chat with a friend of mine, a marketing friend of mine, a couple of days ago about MQLs and their value in marketing reporting. And what we were talking about was, MQLs, marketing qualified leads, have got a little bit of a bad rap because, they are now perceived to be a mechanism of wasted time. Marketing optimize their strategy to bring in a bunch of marketing qualified leads that are ultimately handed over to sales, and only 0.2% of them actually are relevant to sales after that function has gone out and chased them up. And that is a huge waste of time, right? But I would argue that it's more of a definition problem than it is MQLs inherently being, not valuable. If you look at MQLs more as a trigger of capturing the information of a contact that can be entered into a long-term nurture sequence that has minimal sales pressure, in that they're not being chased up by sales, every week just because they've downloaded a white paper, then what's wrong with that? Like, that's what we should be doing as marketers. We should be trying to create direct long-term connections with our potential clients, be they ready to buy now or ready to buy in the future. So with that, with that comes the understanding that, if you generate MQLs, they shouldn't be approached by a salesperson until they've demonstrated that high level of intent. They've clicked the talk to sales button on your website, but they're still, a marketing qualified lead. They may not be ready to buy now, but we've identified them as a potential customer at some point in the future. And as marketing, now that we have their details, we're committing to serving them with consistent long-term value until they do put their hand up. What's wrong with that? And if that means gating content, then, I think there's a balance. I don't think it's binary. I don't think you gate all your content or you don't gate anything, but people do submit their details, right? Like, I think if it's valuable enough, people will submit their details. And if that gets them in your database so that you can serve them that value over the long term, and that when they put their hand up, you can then introduce them to sales, then I'm all for that.